God, country, and we the people on UST Party Radio.
Welcome back to UST Party Radio. God, country, and we the people with Kaz Taylor and Bill Gruber.
You know, we have a president by the name of Obama.
Yeah, Barack Hussein
Obama, and he's got a lot of people mad at him these days. And
boy,
one of the reasons is that his recent declarations about a new international order that even usurps the U.S. Constitution. He's been talking about that.
We are the world.
Oh, my gosh. Constitutional lawyer and guest expert and
ongoing contributor he is.
To UST Party Radio is Michael Connelly. And Michael joins us today. Hi, Michael. How are you today?
I'm doing fine. How about you guys?
New international order?
Yeah, what's this all about?
Well, that's exactly what I'm asking in my most recent blog article, because on May 22nd this year, Obama makes a speech to the graduating cadets and their families at West Point, the U.S. Military Academy. Now, the motto of West Point is duty, honor, country. And here we have kids that are graduating and going on to be fighting in 2 wars, possible a third one in Korea. And instead of talking about their duty to their country and defending their country, he starts rambling on in this speech about the new international order, that we are going to become part of a new international order, and that the new international order is his vision. He says, the international order we seek is one that can resolve the challenges of our times, countering violent extremism and insurgency, stopping the spread of nuclear weapons and securing nuclear materials, combating a changing climate and sustaining global growth, helping countries feed themselves and care for their sick, preventing conflict, and healing its wounds.
Yep.
And what does all that mean?
Well, you know, on the surface, it sounds really kumbaya-ish.
It's very scary because of the fact that no other countries in the world have a constitution like ours. They certainly don't have a Bill of Rights like ours. No other country protects freedom of speech, freedom of religion like we do. They certainly don't protect the right to keep and bear arms. Yet here we are with the President of the United States, who seems more concerned with being the leader of the world than he does with being the president of this country. You know,
one of the things that really concerns me, Michael, is as soon as you do that, let's say global warming, you know, obviously when he says, you know, we're going to be sensitive to the global warming or the earth conditions and all these other things, or give to third world countries and cap and trade kind of a things, you know, that's nice to say, but the truth of the matter is that means America is really the primary donor.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Michael, my question is, speaking of this new international order, which is the subject of what we're talking about today, is how could something like this happen to our country? How could a swing in that direction take place?
Well, the problem we have right now is we have a Congress and a Senate that are in bed with the President of the United States. So that's 2 out of our 3 branches of government that right now are going along with this type of thing. The obvious outcome, as far as we are concerned, the defenders of freedom, is that we need to vote these people out. But in the meantime, they are trying to pass every piece of legislation they can that would get us involved in this sort of thing.
And some of that legislation is almost secretive, isn't it? I mean, you know, I look in the newspaper and all of a sudden something else has occurred.
Right, exactly. The talk about, the legislation passed by the state of Arizona, immigration legislation. They are now trying to sneak through Congress, introduce legislation that would counter that and would basically pave the way for people to come into this country and that are here illegally to go ahead and get amnesty and become citizens of the United States, and really do nothing to close the border. Yet this is they're trying to push this through Congress right now. And this goes along with Obama's idea that we will have open borders and this sort of thing. Again, that will destroy our country. We are a sovereign nation. Our states are sovereign states. We cannot just start giving up our power to the United Nations or to some other country or the Copenhagen Treaty. Obama's looking at all these international treaties out there, which he thinks will help establish us as part of this international order. The thing he doesn't understand is that the Supreme Court of the United States has ruled that international treaties do not override the Constitution. We as citizens need to make sure our elected representatives understand that. They'll be held accountable for things that they try to do that will override and hurt our constitutional rights.
Well, you know, part of the platform that Obama used in the election process was that, hey, the Bush administration so alienated us from the rest of the world. My intention is to bring us back into line with the rest of the world so that they like us again. And you know, clearly it appears that many in our population agree with that philosophy. So the question becomes, if you've got a people who put into power these this administration, how difficult will it be to reverse that?
Well, I think it's already starting to reverse itself, because people believed in the idea in general that, you know, we needed to get along better with other countries. And Obama's gone out and apologized to everybody he can find. He has bowed to everybody he can find. He has basically subjected himself to ridicule. Right now, the people of the United States, though, are seeing that what is happening is not a drop in the hatred of the United States by the radical jihadists, even though we're not allowed to call them that anymore, because it might offend them while they're trying to kill us, and we don't want to offend somebody who's trying to kill us. But, you know, basically he's becoming a joke in the rest of the world. Iran, the government of Iran is totally ignoring any of his threats. They're going right ahead with building their bomb, and he basically has backed off and said, well, we're not going to do anything to you. North Korea has committed an act of war against our ally in South Korea and basically dared us to do anything about it. We've done nothing about it. Obama seems totally incapable of having any kind of foreign policy that's coherent right now, except he dislikes Israel, and he's made that very clear. So more and more, the feeling I'm getting from people that write emails to me and talk to me on my blog and that sort of thing is that they see what's happening, that Obama is now becoming a laughing stock. I mean, when you have the Russians, for goodness sakes, and the Chinese telling you to slow down with your economic takeover of a free market, you know something's wrong.
Yes.
And basically that's what Obama's been told. So he's becoming a joke, and as a result, we have no coherent foreign policy. We have much less influence in the world than we did before. My philosophy always was people around the world are never going to love the United States, but we can force them to respect us. Right now, we have neither love nor respect.
Michael, do you see any evidence that even some of Obama's constituents are starting to wake up and take notice? I was thinking about James Carville and was talking about the oil spill, and he was very definitive about the administration and their lack of activity or action on that issue. Do you sense that even some of the Democrats and some of the less liberals are starting to realize that they're going the wrong direction?
I think so. James Carville and I went to LSU Law School together. We graduated together, and I know James is not the type that's going to turn on Obama without good reason. And he sees the failure of leadership in this crisis in Louisiana and on the entire Gulf Coast. And he sees that as a failure in leadership, the fact that the governor of Louisiana had a plan to deal with it and couldn't get it approved by the Obama administration and still doesn't have it all approved. And so, I think that they're seeing that we've got a wavering leadership here. We've got a floundering individual who talks the talk but doesn't walk the walk when it comes to actually leading the United States.
Michael, we got a minute and a half left. You've talked about your blog. Let's publicize that a little bit. Tell us about it.
Well, basically it's a blog on constitutional law, and I'm going to start putting up legislative alerts about dangerous legislation that's pending in Congress. And you can go to the blog at www.michaelconnelly, MichaelConnelly.vivity, VIVITI.com.
And you have quite a healthy following in your blog. Last time I checked, when you have a volatile issue, I mean, people congregate there. Talk a little bit about that in the 40 seconds we have left.
Right. Well, I've had over 210,000 hits on the blog now. And usually when I'll make a new post, even though I send it out and email alerts to people that want it, I'll usually get 1,000 hits a day for a while. Michael
Connelly, constitutional lawyer, blogger, and contributor to U.S. Tea Party Radio. Thanks for joining us. Once again, michaelconnelly.vivity, VIVITI.com. Find out about his blog. Michael, come back again.
This is the U.S. Tea Party Radio from WSRadio.com, the worldwide leader in Internet talk.